Today I'm going to walk you through making my tested and perfected royal icing recipe. There are only 4 ingredients in my icing. You'll need confectioner's sugar, meringue powder, water, and flavor. I use butter flavor. I use Wilton's brand meringue powder, warm water. The flavor that I use for my icing is a nice butter flavor. There are countless number of flavors that you can choose. I would just recommend to choose a clear flavor so that the whiteness of your icing is not affected. And then the base of your icing, which is confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. The only kitchen tool that you will need for this recipe is a stand mixer. You're going to start off using your whisk attachment on your stand mixer. We will begin by mixing our dry ingredients. First thing, we're going to add our 2 pounds of powdered sugar to the bowl. After years of using this recipe, I do not find it necessary to sift our powdered sugar. Next, we're going to add our meringue powder to our powdered sugar. I have pre-measured out the 3/4 cup in this video. The next step is an important one. I like to mix the dry ingredients and make sure they are very well incorporated before adding any of my wet ingredients. Next, you're going to add your 1.25 cups of warm water to your mixture. I like to make sure the water is warm because warm water will break down your sugar much faster than cold water will, which will make sure you do not overmix your icing. Lastly, you're going to add your flavor. I use butter because it is a nice savory contrast to the super sweetness of your confectioner's sugar. Once all of your ingredients are added, I like to turn my mixer on high for 60 seconds. Make sure you do not overmix your icing. Whipped icing is very hard to use when wanting to flood cookies. This is the exact recipe that I use every day and for every cookie that is featured on my Instagram, Cookie Queen NC. You will get a perfect mid-range consistency that you can easily thin out for flooding or stiffen up for decorating. This recipe yields enough icing to flood and decorate 5 dozen cookies or just flood 8 dozen cookies. For the next part of this video, I used a drop of gel coloring so you can better see the texture and consistency of the icing. This is the base consistency that the standard recipe will yield. This is a great consistency for any detailing where you would like a nice smooth finish. If you need something with a little more structure, like for florals or greenery with some rigid edges, go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of confectioner's sugar to stiffen up your mixture. When you are just starting out, I cannot recommend enough using a spray bottle to thin down your icing. A spray bottle will ensure a very small amount of water getting added into your icing. When thinning down icing, I use the seconds method to test when my icing is ready. This means the number of seconds that it takes for your icing to completely settle down. For lettering or writing, I will use a 15 to 20 second consistency. This means if I scrape my spatula through a bowl of icing, it will take about 15 to 20 seconds to settle down. I like using 15 to 20 seconds for writing because it is a little more forgiving than a stiffer icing. So if you're not as consistent with squeezing your piping bag, the lines will settle out and they will look much cleaner than if you were to use a stiffer icing. The most important icing consistency to get in cookie decorating is flooding. I use a 10-second consistency. At 10 seconds, your icing will smooth out fairly quickly while not flooding over the side of your cookie. If you are a beginner and having problems with overflowing cookies, I recommend making an outline around the edge of your cookie to create a border that will hold in your icing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe for more great cookie decorating techniques and ideas.